I start off by making 6 petals. 3 small around the size of a dime and 3 that are about the size of a quarter. Once I have all 6 of the petals made, I put 3 of the petals on top of my torch where I have a graphite pad mounted, and then the bigger 3 go into my kiln. And that just keeps them hot, that way that they don't crack by cooling down too fast. Also, they could crack if they're cold and they just go right directly into the flame. It's like dropping an ice cube in a glass of water. You ever see how the ice cube cracks? It does very similar things. So when connecting the petals to the central bud that I've already created ahead of time, the most important part is to have both sides evenly heated, meaning that they both have to be the same viscosity or fluid state. As long as both sides of the glass that are making contact are the same temperature and the same viscosity, it's like pouring a glass of water into a glass of water. Now I'm just going back, heating up the center of the petal and using a butter knife to help give a crease to each individual petal. And these little details are really what makes these flowers sweet. It's a simple detail, but it makes all the difference in the world instead of just leaving them flat. Now, attaching the bottom 3 is a little bit trickier because not only am I having to try to avoid making contact with the bigger petal onto the smaller petals, I also have to make sure that I don't heat it up too much, otherwise everything can start shifting around on me. And here's where gravity really comes in handy. I like to heat the bottom of the petal first, and then I'll heat a strip on top of the petal. And then I'll just press my little knife into it and kind of roll it. And right there, I'm just giving a nice focused heat just to make sure that when I go to use my tool, it makes a nice even crease. My spoon is one of my favorite tools I use. It allows me to use both sides of the spoon for creating different convex and concave curved shapes if needed. Like on these petals, this just helps me where the connection of the petal is on the bud. It helps me to curve that area up because initially the connection is kind of flat. And now comes the details. And this is one of my favorite parts of making these flowers, mainly because I love heating up glass and stretching it out. But also I love when glass will naturally curl on its own, just from controlling where the heat is according to where the glass is melting. And now let's watch it in real time. Just like those rose petals, I have to make sure both sides of the glass are evenly heated where the connection takes place. From this point, I like to heat up all sides of this glass piece, making sure that when I stretch it out, it flows and stretches evenly, all the way to the very point to where I stretch it. Then a quick backtrack, removing some off the tip, and then I run that flame right down that leaf and it curls all naturally by itself. And then it's just repeat. Flatten it out, heat it up, make the connection, nice stretch, bring it to a point, remove some excess off the tip, use the flame to allow the glass to naturally make that curl. And then it's time for the addition of the main leaf. Just like everything else, glass is evenly heated, flattened out into a shape like a leaf. And to attach this to the stem is very tricky because if I overheat this stem, the stem can get too hot and start getting wobbly and I'll lose it. It'll start to bend on me. So what I do is I heat up that leaf and I roll the stem onto that leaf, making a nice clean attachment. And once it's attached, I then evenly heat it up, similar to everything else. Just give it a little wiggle, a little stretch, a little tug, remove some excess off the end, use some flame and gravity to give it a nice natural shape. Remove a little bit of excess if I need to. Excess glass off that little bit of that leaf. And just above where the leaf goes, I add a little bit of glass and create a thorn. And I just grab a little bit of that glass off the tip and I pull it out to about the thickness of a hair. and I just tap off a little bit of the end off that thorn point. And there you have it, a rose. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do really hope you learned something new about glass, whether you're a glass artist or just a glass enthusiast in general. If you'd like to see more videos, please hit that subscribe button and the notification icon to stay up to date with all new releases coming soon. If you'd like to see a full-length video, check out the playlist with full-length videos, where I have about a 30-minute video showing the full process on how to make these roses, just in case you'd like to give one a try yourself. Thanks again for tuning in. Take care of yourself and have a wise day.